welcome back. You're watching Market Today, and it's Diwali Day. And joining us on this Diwali Day is Dr. Praveer Sinha, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Tata Power. Second quarter earnings, highest ever quarterly profit. Dr. Sinha, welcome to the conversation. Happy Diwali to you and everyone at Tata Power.
Thank you for having me on the show, and very happy Diwali to you and to all your viewers on Business Today.
Thank you very much. Let's dive in straight away into the numbers. 1,533 crore in the second quarter. That's 51% year-on-year increase before exceptional items. So tell us what led to this exceptional performance.
What has happened is one is let's look at all our existing operations. Our generation businesses have done very well. They have consistent performance. Our transmission and distribution have done well. There was a one-off where we got some extra payment in Delhi against a regulatory order, so that gave us little extra income. But otherwise, all our distribution businesses, whether it was Delhi, Mumbai, or Odisha, have done consistently well. Similarly, our transmission businesses have done exceedingly well in Mumbai and other places. Our renewable business, we saw that apart from our profits and EBITDA and revenue coming from the large utility scale projects that we operate, we also saw the push coming from our manufacturing plant, our 4.3 gigawatts solar cell and module plant. The module plant is fully operational, so the impact of that was seen in the last quarter. The cell plant has got commissioned the first 2 gigawatt and in September, and the second 2 gigawatt will come in November. So we expect that they will stabilize during this quarter, and the full impact will come in the next quarter, that is Q4. Many of the projects that we are implementing, the impact of that will start coming in Q3, Q4. We did an investment of nearly a Capex of nearly 9,000 crore in the first 6 months, and our target, which was earlier 20,000 crores, will end up doing 22,000 crores. So all the benefit of the investments that we would do majorly in our transmission and renewable business and distribution business, we'll start seeing from the next year onwards. So many
Dr.
things which
Sinha?
are in, yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Sinha, I was just saying that with this very solid set of numbers and the fact that Capex is actually almost 10% more than what you had earlier outlined, what does that mean for profitability in the remaining part of the financial year? Because a lot of people who are watching this would immediately want you to answer that question. Do you expect this to sustain?
Yeah, it will sustain. It will definitely be more than the same period previous year, because uh, what happens is the business is little cyclical in terms of, so the solar and wind generation. What happens in the months of October to December is more or less same every year, and it cannot be compared with the previous quarter. That means the July to September quarter. So similarly, you will see that in every quarter we will be able to show the increase in profit and EBITDA that we have shown in the previous years in the similar quarter. And that's what is the 20th consecutive quarter in which we have shown growth. So this is not something that is one-off, but it is a consistent way that the benefit of all the investments that we do start coming in the subsequent quarters, and that's why we have been able to show very good performance in this quarter also, and will continue in the next two quarters also.
One broader question, given electricity's role in both industry and residential usage, what are the signals that you are picking up from the broader economy, from your business footprint? What does it seem like?
So what we are seeing is that though in the last quarter the energy consumption was very, very muted, but that was primarily because we had a very long monsoon and a very heavy monsoon. So, because of that, the consumption in many parts of the country was less. But having said that, generically, we find that the consumption has gone up in all segments, whether it is in the residential segments in cities as also in villages, whether it is in the industrial and commercial. So generally, there is a uptake in terms of the consumption, and that is because you can see that most of the industrial plants are operating at full capacity, have gone for expansion. A lot of new offices have come up. A lot of data centers are coming up, and that the consumption of those data centers are going up. A lot of consumer spending is happening, especially now that we find many places the temperature in the summer months was very high, and the consumption of air conditioners is very, very high in these places. So I think that there is demand which is there, and to cater to that additional demand, we need to create additional generation capacities. As also, we need to create generation capacities to meet the peaking requirement, because even now we find that in the evening time from 6 to 11 or 12, we have very, very high demand, which sometimes we are not able to cater to. And to that extent, it's important that some of the pumped hydro project that now we are going to set up will be able to meet the peaking requirement of power.
Since you had spoken about the additional capex, and I want to therefore correlate it to the demand issue that you highlighted, uh, where all do you see the ability to cater to some of this demand, and what are the timelines vis-a-vis construction that you can share with our viewers?
So the 22,000 that we will spend in this financial year. So everything gets, we have already done a capex of 9,000 in the first 6 months, and the balance 13,000 we'll do it in the next 6 months. So this is because some of the projects which were supposed to come in the next financial year, we are preponing it, and that will happen in this financial year. And we have again a large pool of projects which will get implemented in the subsequent year in FY 26, 27. These are renewable projects, these are transmission projects which we are already and they are under implementation. This will also be the pumped hydro project which will come up in 28, FY 28, and also the Bhutan project of 600 megawatt hydro. So you will see that it's on a staggered basis. Every year there would be large number of these projects coming up, and that will help us to meet the growing demand of power, as also to provide clean energy that we have been working on.
This pumped storage hydro project of Bhivpuri in Maharashtra, uh, this is 1,000 megawatt project. You said that you expect it to be operational by 2028.
Yeah, so September 2028, we expect that this will become operational. So the work will start from 1st January this year, and all the pre-project activities have been carried out. So that will help us to ensure that this project comes up in a very short period of time.
Dr. Sinha, what's the strategic intent behind the Bhutan stake buy that you have done, as I understand, in a company that's called Korlochu Hydro Power Limited?
So our objective is that again, how do we use these hydro power during summer months? Because during summer months they have very large generation capacity. These are based on the melting of snow that takes place, and also in the rivers that flows uh, in those areas. And you know that our India's peak requirement of power is in the summer months. So I think our whole objective of bundling this power with solar and wind, and thereby providing 24/7 power will be met. So these objectives have helped us to look at not only the hydro project over there, but some more investment opportunities which will come up in future.
where are those opportunities likely to come up within India or nearby? Can you offer some color on
So,
that?
so most of them will come up in India, but also in Bhutan, we will possibly examine some of those opportunities.
Okay. Since we are talking about hydro, I want a overview from you on where the clean energy portfolio stands. How much is operational? How much is in the current stages of being rolled out?
So at present, if we see the clean energy, we have nearly 6.4 gigawatt of operational, which is a combination of solar, wind, and hydro plants that we have. We have another 6.5, which is under implementation. And once all these come up, we would be more than 60%. Our target is by 2030, we should become 70% of our installed capacity should become clean energy solutions. And I think we are very much on our target to meet that. In fact, we may end up possibly doing little more than 70%.
Dr. Sinha, I want to go back to an earlier answer about data centers that you said and correlate it with what storied investor, the founder of SoftBank, Masayoshi Son, recently said. And he said that because of AI, not only will it mean massive investments in the chips, but also the amount of power that it is likely to consume will be equivalent to the annual power generation in the United States of America. Now we are still at a very, very early stage in infancy when it comes to AI capacity within India, but we know different groups have different plans and possibly we might see more action. So it's a very long term question, but is data center combined with this demand that may arise from higher computational technologies, is that going to be a key power consumption segment? And how do you see this? Does the board feel the necessity to address it at this stage?
Absolutely. And as you know, that these data centers consume a huge amount of power. Of course, they are going through a lot of energy conservation measures, but nonetheless, they will have a large consumption. Also, what they require is clean energy for these data centers. So, going forward, many of these data centers will insist on how do you supply them clean energy solution, because that's the mandate that they have from their customers. And we do expect that India will be, because of the data privacy laws, you'll have large number of data centers in the country. And we will be working very closely with many of them. Also, it's not only the data center, but also e-mobility will pick up in a large way. And we do expect that that will also lead to a lot of consumption of electricity. And I think the type of work that we are doing, and being an integrated power company, we not only do generation and all types of generation, but also are into transmission and distribution and trading of power. So we are able to see right through the utilization of power which is required by any type of industry or any type of consumer. So I think we are in a unique position, and you will see more of our actions focused on providing the clean energy solutions to all these consumers.
Dr. Sinha, there is always so much more to discuss with you and for a company that you lead, but I'll let you go on this Diwali day with the warmest of good wishes once again to you and the entire Tata Power family.